Hey guys, Kayla here with Sublime Canine Training. Today I just wanted to go over a little intro to the e-collar that we use. The e-collar that we use is going to be e-collar Technologies Mini Educator, and this is what we use on the majority of dogs that we train. I just wanted to make a video to go over everything this collar does, how it works, how we use it with our dogs for training, just go over a little bit of everything, okay? I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the box. In your box, you're going to have several things. In the bottom, the most important thing is it comes with a 2-year warranty as long as you send off your warranty registration card. So I always advise my clients right off the bat that they want to send that in and they'll replace it if anything malfunctions, okay? In your box, obviously you're going to have your collar, your remote. You're also going to have a charger, a lanyard, and probably some extra contact points if needed, but I'll usually change those out for you as needed. What I'm going to do now is go over how these turn on and off, what every single button does. I'm going to go over a little bit of everything. On the back of your remote, you're going to have an on-off button. It says on, off, and light. So to turn our remote on, you have got to press and hold that down until the screen comes on. Okay, so now my screen's on. Same thing to turn it off, you've got to press and hold that button down. So I'm going to press and hold it down until it actually goes off. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my remote back on. Your collar turns on and off separately. Okay, if you look on the side of your collar, you're going to see a little red dot. That's a magnet. You're going to have a matching red dot on your remote, okay? That's a magnet. We're going to swipe those together. It lit up green, that means it's on. And as long as it's on and the battery is good, it'll be periodically flashing green there. To turn it off, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to swipe it. It flashed red, that means it's off now, okay? I'm going to go ahead and turn it back on. It flashed green, so it's on. If your battery life gets low, it'll start flashing an orange color there to let you know that your battery life is low. Now that same on-off button, if I just tap it instead of holding it down, one tap, that's going to turn a strobe light onto your collar, okay? If I tap it twice, 2 taps, that's going to turn on a solid light to your collar. 3 taps is going to turn that light off. That's just a safety feature for nighttime. You're outside at dark with your dog and you want to see where your dog's at, then you can turn that light on to make sure you know where your dog is at nighttime, okay? On your screen, you'll see several things. You're going to have a 1D up top if you have a 1-dog system. You're going to have a number, which is whatever level it's going to be on. This dial right here changes your number. These have the ability to go from 0 all the way up to 100. And then on the side, you're going to see some letters. You're going to see an M and a C. This little button right here on the back changes those letters, which is the modes that the collar comes in. So if I press and hold that down, I'm going to make some of those letters change. And we actually like to use ours in C mode. So you should only see a C on there, okay? I'll explain what C mode is here momentarily, okay? You're going to have several buttons on the side of the collar. One of them is going to be a black T button. All that does is make your collar vibrate. I normally don't use the vibrate for any training purpose unless I just have a really sensitive dog that does respond well to the vibrate, but that is honestly pretty rare. Your 2 S buttons on this side, you're going to have a black S button and a red S button. Those are your stimulation buttons. So if I have this off of 0 and I hit either one of those S buttons, then I'm going to be giving stimulation, okay? In C mode, it makes the black button do 2 things, okay? So if I put this on a number and I just tap my black button, it's going to give me temporary stimulation. So that's just like I'm tapping you on the shoulder, which is what we're going to use most of the time to get our dog's attention when they're tuning us out. I can also press and hold it down and give continuous stimulation. But generally the only time I use continuous is maybe your dog's bolting. I might press and hold down to really get their attention and get them stopped. Or your dog's doing a bad behavior, excessive barking, jumping, I'll press and hold down until they stop and then I'll let up so that they know exactly when they messed up and when they made the right choice, okay? Your red button is actually a boost button. So notice it's on 4. If I hit that red button, it jumps it up 5 numbers, okay? That's just a quick boost. Honestly, I never use that boost. I just use my dial and my black S button. Those are really the only two buttons that you really need to worry about. Those are the two that you're going to use more than anything, okay? Now, how we use this system with our dogs is the first thing that we're going to do is find a nice working level for our dog. Your dog's working level is going to be the lowest number that your dog responds to in a normal environment, okay? And when I say normal environment, that's going to be like, you know, around your house, around your yard. You know, there's not any kind of crazy distractions. You're not at the park. You're not at Lowe's. You know, it's whatever their normal environment is, okay? So that's going to be a low distraction environment. So we find the lowest number that they respond to, and then we leave it on that number. We don't go any lower. We stay on that number. And that's going to be the number you're going to use the majority of the time. Now, obviously, if you go to a higher distraction environment or something happens in that environment to make it more distracting, your number is going to creep up a little bit, okay? Anytime your dog gets overexcited, their energy level goes up, their adrenaline goes up, it's going to take more to get their attention at that time. So we can work our number up a little bit until we got their attention, and then once we have their attention, we can work it back down to our working number, okay? Now, my daughter Mallory here is with me, and we're going to demonstrate how I find a dog's working number, okay? This is basically exactly the same way I use it on a dog, except otherwise I'm going to have the collar on them. But Mallory's just going to hold it for me. Make sure both of those are making connection, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at 0 and gradually work my way up. And she's going to tell me the first time she feels a little bit of a tingle. These collars are not shock collars. They do not give a static shock. It is not painful, okay? I wouldn't be doing this to my 7-year-old child if I felt like this was painful, okay? So this just gives a tingling sensation like a TENS unit, okay, that's used in physical therapy. It's just meant to be an attention getter for when your dog is tuning you out, okay? So I'm going to turn it up to a 3, and I'm going to tap it and see if Mallory feels that. Tap. Did you feel anything? Okay. I'm going to go up to a 6. Tap. Anything? 9. Barely. Did it hurt? No? I'm going to go up just a little bit. 12. Did that hurt? Okay. But you felt it, right? Alright, so that's what we do. So Mallory's working number would actually be a 9 because that's the first number that she felt it on. Believe it or not, I do have some dogs that respond as low as that. If I put this on me, I generally don't feel it until at least a 15 or a 16, sometimes a few higher. Everybody is different. Every dog is different. We find the lowest number that works for your dog, okay? And we use that number. But again, it's not pain compliance. It's for when your dog is distracted. Your dog is tuning you out, just like people. If you are focused on something, sometimes you tune people out. Somebody could be right here talking in your ear and you're not going to hear anything they say because you are focused on whatever you're focused on. And your dog does the exact same thing. So when your dog is tuning you out, they are focusing on something. This is a way to tap them on the shoulder to get their... Now, I wanted to make this video for clients so they had something to refer to in case they forgot how to use their collars. So this is going to be for my lessons clients and my board and training clients and anybody out there who is just curious about our system, how we use the e-collars. We always use the e-collars anytime that we're wanting any kind of off-leash reliability. And they're also great for distraction proofing. If you've got a young, hyper, energetic dog that's easily distracted, this is our go-to. Now, is this something that you're going to have to use forever? No, absolutely not, okay? We pair this with our commands for a reason. So every time our dog ignores us, and if we have to repeat a command, we pair it with this stimulation on their working number. So if I ask my dog to come and my dog ignores me, when I repeat that come command, that's when I'm going to give them a tap. Come, okay, to get their attention. If my dog does something wrong, they give me the wrong behavior or they jump or whatever, I'm going to say nope or whatever I want my no word to be and pair it with stimulation. Nope. Off. Whatever you want it to be. As long as we're pairing it together, then we are producing an association between the correction and the reminder and those words, okay? So eventually, once your dog has everything down pat, this will go away, okay? And you'll just be using your words. Come. no, and your dog will default into whatever they're supposed to be doing, okay? But the main thing is being consistent and not trying to wean your dog off too soon, okay? You don't want to wean your dog off until they're ready. And there's some dogs who they can be weaned off this around the house fairly quickly, within maybe a couple of months of training, but they might still need it for high distracted environments, the park, or they might still need it for that off-leash reliability. If you have a hound dog or a husky, dogs that are not good off the leash, then it might take a little bit longer for certain breeds or dogs with certain temperaments. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope this is helpful to all my clients and future clients. And